Hello, hello, hello.
Aloha.
Hi.
I don't know, I'm shaking my shoulders, but like...
Because you're excited.
Yes, I
mean,
am.
you are on a town hall different. Why won't you be excited?
Yes, I am.
This is the only exciting podcast everywhere.
Yeah. Period.
Take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank.
Baby. Anyway, just in case you don't know, I'm Sarchi.
And I'm Sarah. And we're live to give you another spectacular episode.
And maybe
of the
cost
best.
a little.
No, we're not causing trouble today.
We're not causing trouble today, okay.
I mean, except Dwin the Stoic takes us there.
He doesn't look like a troublemaker.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
You know they show
Well,
for face,
It
so...
doesn't-
Is that you can't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
See me, I was supporting you.
You know they
Okay,
show for
you know they
face.
show for
You know the
face.
funny thing, sometimes it's them or it's our guests that take us there. Oh.
I mean, they take
Sometimes
us
it's
there.
not us. Oh.
And we just have to enter that realm.
And another thing is again is that sometimes it's our guests that say these things, oh.
Yeah.
And then it's you people, it's us people.
We will not collect. Oh, those two fools.
Those two fools. Thank you for coming on the podcast of these two foolish girls.
For having me. You look amazing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And you, I mean, you always look so good.
Yes.
You always look so
Thank you.
good. Before you came in here, you were at a rehearsal. So you're about to have a show in Lagos and Abuja this December.
Yes,
So let's
yes.
get into that.
Oh yes, so I'm going on tour. So it's not even just like specifically for December, but we're starting with Abuja in December.
Okay.
Lagos is just at the end of the festivities, January.
Oh,
January
okay.
3rd. So by the time this is out, we'll be selling tickets.
This will be out way before December.
Yeah, so tickets are going live like in a week or so. at
Okay.
least.
In a week.
Or
So
less.
we're in September.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
September.
Okay.
So we'll still be. But yes, I'm very excited because I think with this work I do, apart from composing the music, one other thing I really enjoy is performing it, right? And it's been quite a break since the last time. It was about a year ago that we did Muson in Lagos to close out the Love Lane tour last year. And I also just like the idea that, just touring culture, bringing it back. It's tough, touring.
It is
in
tough
general.
because
Especially
a
in
lot of
Nigeria.
artists have complained about that because the resources are limited
Yeah,
and
it's
there's a lot to do,
security.
security and all.
So yeah, even choosing cities to go to, venues. We have a lack of venues. Even Lagos, where you feel like, they'll be like, we don't have a lot of true venues where you're not breaking your back to get a venue to do an event.
And
where,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So are you saying like there are venues but they're just too expensive, or there are no venues and it's too expensive to create one?
There are very few, like a handful,
They're
quite
actually
literally
a
in one
handful,
hand,
yeah.
that were made to be concert venues.
True.
In
That's
Lagos, or you mean Nigeria
In
generally?
Nigeria in general.
Because
But
think
yeah,
about
Lagos
it.
being the more like the
hub of-
cultural capital.
Yeah.
You would expect we'd have more, but it's still the same thing. We don't have a lot of concert halls or places where you think of other places and you see they have arenas. So that even if you're an artist who can pull 500 people who want to see you, you have a place where it's not breaking your back necessarily. With Nigeria, it's like unless you're doing the 3,000, 4,000 crowd, where you're now maybe getting a really huge venue where the cost makes sense.
It's always a hotel, landmark.
Some
So-
people do
Zero
real color.
But I think one thing that we definitely did last year that we liked was working in Muson, Shell Hall. It's
Okay.
1,000-seater, and we're able to fill it up, and so we're doing that again this year.
I
So
love
we're very
that.
excited. With Abuja, same thing. Finding venues was interesting, but I think the best thing for me is just that I'm getting a chance to meet my fans. They're always happy to see me, so I'm always happy to see them. So
So aside Lagos and Abuja, what other cities are you going to?
I'm looking at Ibadan, Port Harcourt. This is for Nigeria. Then Accra, Nairobi, Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Kampala in Uganda.
So it's an
Kampala.
African tour.
To start, and then there's a possible North American and European leg. We want to get to London, New York, and Toronto. It's because data is pointing us in that direction. We know that we have listeners in these cities, so we're pushing to go there.
2026
I
will
love
be a
that you
long
said
year.
data because I feel like a lot of artists do not even know who and who is listening to their song and where their songs are going to.
And that's
All they
something
just
that-
care about is make we run now, make we
Make we go UK.
yeah.
Make
They
we go
don't
do one
know
show for
they
London.
don't know
Yeah.
what the
It's
data is
and it's
saying.
necessary because and this is me, indie artist, running an indie label. We when I tell people that a lot of the start of this was there's not much else apart from the music, right? There's no funding from anywhere. There's no
Really?
Yeah, it's mostly life savings that you use to run this. But then there's always been the more you grow, that's the interesting thing with doing this thing. The more you grow, more things come. People are willing to put things forward in terms of invest and get back. And even that too takes you actively pitching and things like that. And so with the data, you're able to now make informed decisions, right? Last year, we chose these 4 cities, Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, and Port Harcourt, when we were doing last year's tour, because we knew that that's our at least in the top 10. Those are some of our
Yeah.
cities. And so this year we're pretty much doing the same thing, but now this is an album tour. Last year the tour was for an EP that had gone viral. We had a couple viral hits on TikTok, and it was good to have that, because it's also validating, right? You make the music that's alternative and whatnot, and you worry sometimes about if it's
People
going
are
to,
going to connect.
but the music is good. There's
Yeah.
that part. But you're just like, there's a commercial bit of it. So to see things like, a viral hit here, seeing more people just plug into it, it's been exciting, really.
So, let's talk about your journey.
Yeah.
I know that it's challenging to do music as an artist signed to a label.
Yeah.
Now, to see you as an artist making music as an independent artist,
Yeah.
take us through that journey. What does it feel like?
I think the best thing about it was that when it started, me making this music, it was that, I still had my 9-to-5s. I worked a couple of 9-to-5s over the years and just kept doing music along with it, and just and what that did for me was that I just dropped whatever I wanted. Right, I've never had to fear that, this song I'm about to drop, will the people feel it? No, I know the music I'm making will be felt regardless, right? And so that confidence, even saying it like this, comes from the years where it didn't matter, whether or not who else was doing whatever sound. And I think the confidence to even start running a label came from just those years of experimenting, really. With every song I was dropping, I was probably trying a new distributor or a new this thing, and then I will research and find out, okay, this is a new way to run ads or a new way to do this, and this just kept happening. And so what that meant was I was just building knowledge, and then as time went by, the team started to come together, and I will tell you, it has been hard. It has been harrowing. But I think that with art, you would hear this from as many artists as possible. There's that thing, you feel like you need to do this thing.
Yeah.
But also I think what has helped me is because I've worked in corporate, I worked in tech, I worked in media. I brought all those things into running this record label, and I'm excited for where we're going, really, because we are currently 3 of us signed to the label. There's me, there's Rafi, who I make most of my music with, and there's Celeste Ojatula. She's a brilliant producer, singer, songwriter, performer. And so I've always been I'm big on, we actually move further together, right? There's this idea that our industry is very siloed. Everybody's kind of in their own, and I think that's what, when we talk about the Afrobeats to the world movement, not when people say things like, we didn't export the culture, it was just the music. Yeah, because there was never really we're all moving.
Yeah. Even till now, we're still not moving together. Everybody's still.
And so it's like, and so when the money came in from that movement, it was supposed to build this industry.
But it's not.
But it's
Things
not.
like this, the venues I mentioned, for example, I think, and I guess this is the podcast to actually say all these things I've had on my mind.
Yeah.
One thing that I think should have been done was, for example, I heard that Rema was doing a Rema Dome in Benin, and I loved hearing that.
The idea of that.
I love what Thames is doing, the Leading Vibe Initiative.
Yeah.
Which is coming back. She's having producers, singer-songwriters, artists who are women, giving them
beautiful.
Because and you almost don't have fear for those people anymore, because they're like, if Thames has basically said, I'm with you, I'm going to. And if someone has achieved that level of success, there is a long, how do I put it, like a ladder. Like, there's a lot of steps in between. And so this artist journey, you don't always, not all of us want to own yachts or anything. We just want to be able to make
You don't want to own yachts, Ke? Doing the
don't
Stoic.
I mean, it's
care much
good,
for them,
it's
I wonder.
good.
It's nice to have the
Yeah.
money for yachts.
It's
and
nice
do
to-
something else with them, but I don't really care. Me personally, I don't care much for.
Would you like to own a yacht?
I don't like water like that as well.
I
can't swim.
don't know.
Me, I would like to own a yacht. Private jet, I would like to own.
So
Cheap,
there's
say if I
there's
want.
some things I don't really know if I want to
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
until I'm able to afford them.
Yeah, fair.
I agree with that, but I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. This is not me trying to sound funny on the podcast. I genuinely would love to own a yacht.
Like,
Exactly.
Actually,
that's
a pink
the thing.
one.
I love
Precisely.
it,
As
it's
a
actually
Mauve. Precisely, my dear.
I love it.
Do you understand?
With your name on it.
With my name on it.
Big Sarah, not the small
Not
one.
the
Clock that.
period. Clock that.
Love it.
Genuinely,
So,
I would love to.
It's that I think that our industry will do better if we were as many of the big artists as possible. I don't even mind it being even a little narcissistic, where we have a bunch of artists just building arenas in their name.
Yeah.
But if I know as an artist that okay, I can only fill up a 200 room, but there's someone who has built like an O2 where they have different.
Yes.
You know, so like I'll take the 200 rooms, sell to my people. We see how much that comes, and let's also be reasonable with ourselves, right? This is not the economy we have is not the one where we should be doing what we're doing to our indie artists, where they must pay top dollar for everything. Where if you want to try and get promotions, like everybody's charging you what they're charging
The big
Big guys.
So I think
Because obviously you don't have the budgets the big
you don't
guys
that.
have.
So,
Yeah.
so when you have like people come on podcasts and say things like, "Oh, if you don't have like 100 million to push a single, don't bother," it's not helping anybody, right? Because
But maybe they're just being realistic because this is where we are
if
at
I
right
listen
now.
to that, I wouldn't start
You,
my career.
you don't
I
have to
wouldn't
listen
move.
to that. You
Eh?
don't have to.
So that's it. But it's like I think it shouldn't be set as a what's the word now?
As a standard.
As a standard, because it's like it's understandable that at a certain level, that's what you spend.
Yeah.
But when it is said as whoever you are.
If you don't have
this,
this, forget it.
bar,
Yeah.
Don't bother. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not how art. And this is me as an artist now. I'm speaking like strictly about art. Art must exist. Artists must exist. We
Yeah.
must continue, even if it's hard. That's why we keep doing it, even when it's hard.
Yeah.
Right. And so my thing is more attention being paid to like this industry. Like it's why even with the tour, it's starting in Africa because I keep saying we too deserve nice things.
Yeah.
Right. Even when our artists get big and they don't come here anymore, it pains
doesn't
me a
make
bit.
any
Somebody
sense.
is doing homecoming. This person blew what 3-4 years ago. And
Who's
person, should we name names?
This is a town hall different.
Somebody has not been here for over 1 year, and this person is coming back to Nigeria, and it's like homecoming, back
Who's
to
that?
the home soil. Asaki.
Who is us? Hello, Casablanca. This is Ashak.
Asaki. All right.
You
But
know,
like,
actually,
it's
I
crazy.
look forward to that shoot. I want to see.
I will be there.
You know, it will be a madness.
I will be.
very sure.
I'm a
And,
huge fan. I will be there, screaming at the top of my
Yeah,
lungs.
I think he's actually very talented.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's
But
like,
it shouldn't be that way.
because I think that, and I think that separation of the artist from this space is why our industry has gone to shit
Yeah.
in the way that it has. Because if they had to constantly interact with how hard things are here, and hence why I'm talking like this, because I'm interacting with it almost every day, it would, I think, change things, right? But yeah.
That's the thing. So I think a lot of the new age artists, not just even the new age, like a lot of artists lack community building. So like you don't even know what your fans are about. Like all you just care about is let me just put out my music,
Yeah.
or we go on tour. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you actually know what your fans
The community
say
part.
and what they want?
Yeah.
I think that's something that the alter community have been able to do.
Yeah,
You
there's-
guys have a community.
Another community that's doing it very fantastically now is the rave community, the house. Afro house.
Yes.
Yes. But I mean, I'll still put them on the altar.
No, I think it's separate. I think it's different. Ote had
But
like
like
a
most
very
of the
distinct-
rave people are from the alter
There's
community.
that.
Yes,
exactly
that's
what
I'll
it
put
says.
them there. They're there. They're out there. They're out there.
What's actually like why that is key and something that I think more artists should look into, because I have a fantastic community. That has
Yeah, I do. I mean,
So
I see it on
solid,
Twitter.
yeah. So
And then
solid.
It's like, and it's mostly come from the team. When we think about the fans, the show experience, for example, shows always start in time. If for any reason we're late, just 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
That's very
Probably
important.
to put things around. Because me personally, I don't like that. When I hear the stories, because I've never personally
There
put
was
myself.
somebody that did sorry to cut you, there was somebody that did a show recently. This guy that writes for Zikoko now, Marv. The show was supposed to start, I think, at
I
8
saw him tweeting
p.m.
about it.
He tweeted that by
What's that at what time?
8
8 p.m. At 8 p.m. they were still setting up the stage. He gave an update at 9 p.m. They were still setting up the
till
stage. Yeah, I think the show started at midnight. The show
What?
started at
No.
11 p.m.
Actually, I think DJ was playing around midnight, but artists actually came on stage sometime around 2.
Whose
Yeah.
show was that?
Trench Fest. Dapper's
Trench
Trench Fest.
Symphony, I think.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Trench
like-
something. Sha is Dapper that Sha did it.
So wait, was the Shay Vibes concert?
No, it was not
No,
Shay
it's
Vibes
different,
concert.
different,
This one, Shay
different.
Vibes is no longer with them now. This one is different. Like,
It's
and I was following his tweets, and he kept saying, and oh, by the way, they also posted on their social media at 8 p.m. that people should be punctual.
You
So
know-
people were there
Exactly.
early.
And so that's the thing, exactly. When you tell people they must be early, and then there is and this has happened like, it's because of our culture, just the general Nigerian thing.
If
where-
somebody tells me that a show starts at 8 p.m., I'm thinking 11. I will not be there
So
at 8.
again,
for
I want
sure.
to say that this thing is not solely on the audience. As much as I want to say, oh, Nigerians don't show up on time. If
It's
We
a
don't show up on
it's
time
learned
because we
behavior.
see that
It's
you
learned
don't
behavior,
start
'cause
early.
I know, like for example, last year as we started Muson, I had to get to the hotel to change and come back. I was running late. The hall was full by the time I got there. right? Because my people would know, like, I'm
You
actually
were
trying to
gonna-
start.
yeah.
If for any reason I'm late, it's a thing I can explain to
Yeah.
you, as opposed to you're there for hours.
And if
nothing is
you're
being
running
said.
late, at least 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
And most times
Don't
you're
run late for
planning
1
these
hour.
shows, you're planning these
Sometimes
shows.
1 hour is okay. Don't do 4 hours.
No, that's it, 'cause at some point it becomes intentional. At some point because of you expect that people
With a
come
lot of
late, now you are
artists.
playing-
With a lot of artists.
And what happened? What year? I
It
think it was
is.
last year when Rema did his show and said, "I'm starting at 10 and then they're midnight."
And he started.
Ashake did that too.
Yeah. Rema when he
because
started,
I
I was
think it's
there.
them having, because this is the same thing they will do abroad.
Mm-hmm.
They know
I
that
would
when they
never-
come here, people want to, because it's Nigeria, let's just know. I think we should now, like, and I'm saying this like artists, you set the standard a lot of times for any interaction with your fans. You set the standard. So if you say, like with my fans now, they know, like, days before the show, I'm sending you set list. Day before the show, I'm telling you like what you.
This
You
is the
send your
time.
set list.
Yes, and that's something I
Interesting.
noticed that international musicians have always done with their tours.
Yeah.
Because you're rehearsing what you're going to perform. So
Yeah.
you can literally tell them, hey, this is what I'm going to sing. And here's what, you have fans who are excited for that. because
Sometimes
they're
you can
going to
even
listen
give
to
them
a
an
playlist.
option to pick.
They make playlists of what I put out, and then they are sharing with new fans who, I don't know this
What
song.
to
but-
listen to,
and
yeah.
you create.
And that's how community, that's
Grows.
community
And
building.
the reason why community is important for indie artists is because this game is a game of niches. You can have a really huge niche. An example of someone who has a very huge niche is Beyonce. It's a niche still, but it's millions strong.
Yeah.
Right? But that your niche is what keeps you around, keeps you paid. You go on tour, they buy your merch, they keep it within. So that as you are progressing as an artist, and this is how I see it with my fans, over the last few years, a couple of my fans, new jobs, new things, new whatever it is, and as they enter new spaces, if they have chances to talk about this artist who they know loves them and who they love,
You're talking about it.
so I want more artists to lean more on that, like treat your people like your people, really, like try and
Not just like,
yeah, exactly, So I think that behavior and it's something that I'm glad we're.
So some people treat them like they're people until a
This-
certain level of fame
this
comes.
December-
And then
that
it's
tends
like,
to be
fuck
this
you
just-
guys.
December, I
yeah.
already counted the shows I want to go for.
Yes.
Exactly. It's a
I'm
thing
not.
where
I'm
people
not
have
about to do that. Oh, you come out and start performing at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m. I'm
I won't
sleeping.
do that.
I don't have
See,
time.
by the way, some of it is also selfish. Me, I'm also not a person that's trying to be performing into 1 a.m. So when I'm ending my shows at 10, because me, I want to go.
I want to go and sleep.
I want to go to my house and
But
sleep.
then again, if we're going to look at it from this angle,
Yeah.
there's some artists who want to
Like
turn
it.
up.
Hey, tell
So
your
they
fans-
want to go
tell
from the
your fans,
concert
tell-
to
honestly,
the club.
Tell your fans that that's
Come
what's
out at
happening.
12, yeah.
Tell them that, guys, we're going to
So
party
everybody
here
knows
and
what
go
it
to the club
is,
after.
yeah.
Tell them that. As
Very
opposed
true.
to come at 8 and then they're waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, if you tell me 8 o'clock, I'm not thinking 8. I'm thinking
Sarah,
11.
you come from my own by
No,
8
yours
if
is
I say
different.
that.
No, yours is different. Yours is different. But like, if you tell me 11, I'll be there at 2. Or I'll decide not to show up because I know
Because
you will come out
honestly-
at 4 a.m. or something. Like,
So, yeah.
people would want to always blame us, but it's not our fault sometimes.
No, I
It's-
insist that it's
It's
going to
never
have to
not
start
from the fans. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not from
Because
the
the thing is
fans.
that fans will be, it's how you, so if I come for your first show and you keep me to 4 a.m., the next time I will come
Yes,
at 4
I'll show-
a.m.
yeah.
Since that's when you come out.
Exactly.
Normal. That's
But
what
yes,
it is.
That's just one of the things in community building where it's just like you are creating, it's a relationship. It's a very interesting relationship because there's a lot of people and then there's you and your team. But it's one that it's been exciting navigating, really, just finding out ways to, so and just seeing the ways fans also respond, where you do a show and they're buying merch, they're buying tickets. It's exciting.
So would you say that it was easy for you to build your community because of the last place you worked at? You were editor-in-chief at Zikoko. That's like the coolest, brand out there. Like all the Gen Zs, all the cool
Yeah.
kids.
And I also want to ask, like,
Yeah.
when did you get the click?
Yeah, the L
Yeah.
click
Yeah,
to leave that kind
To
of
leave
cool
that
job,
job
and pursue
And
a
then
career.
pursue a career in music.
I think it came when it hit me that, because I was working, even till now, like, I'm a workaholic. I work almost all the time. And
So you do things other than music now?
So now I run the label, but that means there's still a lot of work with doing
Fair.
that, because now it's multiple artists,
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
campaign
So you're
strategies,
thinking of,
multiple-
you're not just thinking about yourself,
about
but like
my own
other
career, you
people.
get- And so what happened, but even at that time when it was just my career to handle and the editor-in-chief role, it hit me that, even if one of these was my only job, I would still be stressed.
Yeah.
So I need to make a choice.
Yeah.
Right. And the choice came from the place where I was like, you know what? I've been doing music for, at that point, 5 years. I've been putting out music of all kinds, albums, EPs, whatever. And I was like, I can't say that I've given a year of my life to music, only music. And in that way, I think about it in the concept of a lover. You can't expect so much from them when you've not
Given, yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, so let it be like, and this was very like, it was a very fuck it type decision where it was like, you know what, we've done everything. Like I've worked in tech, I've worked in media, but music was always the side thing, right? And I think we'd had a decent year that year. Streets had come out. We'd done a theme song for Rise Verse. We'd done a bunch of things. And I was just like, you know what? Let's do this. It was a very scary
People
decision.
were like, "Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you sure?"
Yeah. Even me, I was not sure. But I was just like, but I think there's this the trust in the art, and also something about making that decision. Also, just it put me in a place where I was like, okay, I was very certain this is what I'm meant to do, or at least one of the things I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's follow, let's see, and so far so good.
So we're asking about the Zikoko thing. Would you say that it was easy for you to build community because you were with Zikoko?
I think that what Zikoko did for me though was I got an interesting glimpse into people, right? You're in a role like that, and for example, I wrote the column Sex Life for a bit. And so I got to talk to people about their
column,
sex life.
then they craze for that place. So.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I learned how much people will tell you once they know they'll be anonymous. So it's interesting. But also just generally just telling stories like that. And it was something about building, because we were building community in some way there, because between the newsletters and the articles, who had their, there are certain columns that had their devoted readers and whatnot. And so it was a very good glimpse into that. But I think one thing that working in Zikoko did do for me, apart from the community side, was with how I deal with media. So stepping into the just running a label, one of the core things when we started was that we tried to, most press outlets or podcasts or whatever, anybody who's working in media that reaches out, there's a certain care I want to handle them with, because also it's my people. I know how it is when you're on the other side and you're reaching out. And people are not really answering, or when they do, they just treat you because there's like, the plan is always, they will talk to you while they're there, and then when they are out, you don't see them again. But I'm just like, nah, as many people as well, as we have to talk to, because like I go on radio, last tour, we're trying to promote, like talking about, and I go on radio and someone's like, oh yeah, we've never really had someone come talk to us about their tour. I'm like, yeah, I would like to talk to you about my tour. So I think that's one thing they did for me, how I relate, how the team relates with media, how we value every part of this ecosystem. So there's media, there's the fans, and there's us.
But like, leaving your job and deciding to pursue music as an independent artist is one thing. Then deciding to create a label to run under is another thing. Then deciding to sign artists under that label is still another thing. And you just said here that you went there with your life savings. Why?
It's a gamble.
How?
It's a big gamble. It's a big gamble.
Why didn't you wait for sponsors first?
That's the thing, if you keep waiting, nobody comes. That's very interesting.
So you have to do
the helper
destiny
ideology is good, but the one thing I've learned is that you jump and the net appears. It's scary to even say, but usually it tends to be true. When you say, "Oh, I'm going to make a podcast," suddenly you say it enough outside that someone will overhear you and go, "Oh, I have mics I'm not using. Here you go." And
it's funny because that's how we started this podcast.
I can imagine. Right?
I just told someone that,
and that's one thing I've adopted. So now I talk about all my plans, how I'm doing them. I don't have any there's a certain sense of
don't say too much, they don't jinx it.
Exactly. But I'm just like, no. And at least maybe I'm also coming from a place of like, I'm trying to think with abundance. I feel
like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, exactly.
So whether you say it or you don't say it,
it will happen.
So I
still believe that sometimes things can be jinxed, but
I think it's only jinxed if for any reason like you are not really about that.
Yep.
If you're about the thing you want to make, you will make it now. If other people are going to copy or try to, that's a different thing.
So if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't,
and even that,
and if it doesn't work out, it's fine.
Like in this journey, I'm not saying all this almost like running a label has been,
perfect.
It's been hard. It's been hard in terms that you hear the stories where it's like there was no money to, that hard. And it's like what has kept it really has been just this idea that I know that art is important. I know people need this art. I know that when things get hard, it tends to be like people will not want to pay for art as much, but I think it's still necessary. The fact that just for all the moments that they have is why the label's tagline is the soundtrack of your lives. Because I think that this music we're making is for when you want to dance, when you want to cry, when you want to marry.
Everything.
Anything, right? And so with that in mind, I started this label because I'm like, I think that, in fact, I was certain that a label like ours needed to exist. I'm of the opinion that we need more independent, well-run independent labels.
Emphasis on well-run.
Emphasis on well-run.
Because right now we have an industry where young artists
are clueless.
They don't know, because I can't imagine the fear. Because I say this as an artist who knows that thing inside you that makes you want to do this art, it's incessant. It doesn't stop. You just feel like you must keep going. But then when you look around, they're like, man, even the people who have maybe a couple years on me, it still seems like stuff is hard for them. What am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, more well-run indie labels means more people working together.
Yeah.
More people moving, and you will always move farther together, right? And so that's where that came from. Doing it all in this way has been scary, right? But again, with the art at the center of it, it's helped give some strength. Like, the music is good.
So I want to ask you, like, as an independent artist,
Yeah.
when was the first time you got your first big money that you were like, this music money is sweet, oh?
Oh, when was this? Interestingly, it was early, but I didn't leave my job because I was realistic about things. It wasn't enough money to leave my job. This was 2018. This is like, after I put out the first album, I had gotten, I think, some of the songs I'd gotten on in Danny's, I think, Skinny Girl in Transit. And it was one of those earlier times, I don't think we even...
Skinny Girl in Transit was actually a big deal that year.
It was, though.
And so, I think the first thing, I just checked my distributor back end, and usually you see the very small checks come in, $10, $20. I think 800 had come in from YouTube or so. People are making money. And for me, who wasn't doing any mainstream music at the time, it was like, okay.
That's what I do for you.
You didn't tell me. but I think that was probably the first one. And then...
But since you went independent,
I think it's mostly been... It's gigs. It's just like
they call you and
you say exactly what you want, and the person doesn't even argue.
Like, okay,
cool. And you're like, damn.
I should have
asked for more. That happens to us.
But I think it's a creative life.
Yeah.
But I think music, and I know that music, it can make a lot of money. I think, but I will say that a lot of our industry has gotten very obsessed with the idea of advances. We've gotten very much in that advanced thing where, and that's what the foreign labels brought.
I was gonna say that.
They came with advances, and fair. We should take those advances.
I mean, advances are not bad.
They're not bad.
But what do you do with it?
Use them for? Because I still insist that, man, there's a lot, just us, and I speak of the continent most times when I talk about these things. It's not that we don't need anybody else. I think the K-pop industry is my biggest example of how you can interact with the West or the Americas.
But still be in control of your stuff.
They are very much in control of
and in the way that they have an ecosystem where you step in, whether through K-drama or through, and you meet a K-pop artist doing a variety show with your favorite actor on it.
Exactly.
There's all that happening.
But here, right now, Nollywood is here. Afrobeats is here.
And
fashion is here.
Fashion is here, exactly.
And you see that I'm really trying to, as much as I can, between comedy, fashion, music, literature. I'm
trying to incorporate all of this.
As an artist, I love when the other artists are doing interesting work. So all these things coming together is actually very important for our industry to go forward. Now, how and when?
When, we don't know, but how, we've already started. I feel like this generation is trying not to make the mistake that the people...
Because I see things like people working together, more collectives, more this thing. And like, you know what? I hope that people just keep this energy.
Are able to sustain that.
Exactly.
Because honestly, the things we could do, boundless. Like, I think we could be some... Because here's the thing I always say, and it's like it's a bragging thing, but it's like we are the source in terms of like, when you think of just a lot of music around the world and where it originated from, and then of course evolved in different places, here, Africa, and it's why like Afrobeats to the world, the thing that happened with the labels coming, it's happened before.
It has happened before.
I mean, if
the Magic Fashek era too.
If the music wasn't even good, they won't come.
And the funny thing is, like, people think that it's just started now.
No.
The fella
this
era,
is why
those
our
people,
history is super important because
KSA.
I'm looking
at
those. See that generation, KSA, Oyeko Wenu, fella, almost all of them international. Right. But what happened? We get to the 90s, and
there was a dip.
There's a dip, and the thing that happened with that dip was the market wasn't a market they could stay in. military rule was happening, economy was bad.
True.
Yeah, true.
Now we don't have military rule, but economy is bad.
Economy is terrible.
So of course they're leaving again.
And the fact is that now they are leaving, and it's so annoying because they are leaving without us being in control.
Yeah.
They've taken what they've taken from here, and why we're not in control. It's annoying at this point.
So it's like,
and nobody around our ecosystem is trying to do anything about
And
it.
the
You're
closer-
making us
the
just
closer-
cry on
Instead,
the
they'll go
podcast.
on international media and say,
denigrate
I'm not
us.
an Afrobeat artist.
Do you understand?
And you know the interesting thing about that is that for me, even as someone who I know I do multiple genres, I'm particular about the fact that I do multiple genres. I think that that thing where they were denigrating Afrobeats was not necessary.
It was
very
very
unnecessary.
You easily just say it's one of the many genres we do.
Because you won't hear.
Thank
you
you
won't-
very
Fantastic.
much.
You won't hear a South
genre.
African artist saying, "Oh, I don't do amapiano."
Even if they don't
Tyler doesn't make amapiano music. She came on stage and she said, I don't do Afrobeats, I represent amapiano. Girl, you don't even make amapiano. You are a pop artist.
So is
Do you
the thing
understand?
where
But she can't-
there's a bit of solidarity that needs to happen with us, like just as a people making this art. But I will say that it's been interesting being in the middle of it in this way. I won't like the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Leaving this, being in the music industry and seeing all the ways that we could be great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, there's so many ways that we can be. One thing I'm 100% looking forward to is this arena that Lagos State government said that they're building. I don't know why.
Have they started?
I don't know if they've
Have they
started,
started,
but
like,
they've started giving us
plans?
plan. I hope it doesn't end like Nigeria Air. Shout out
We'll
to
see
Nigeria
now.
Air.
Nigeria India does the graphics.
Exactly. I hope it doesn't end, because the truth is, if they really do get us that arena, it would come a
It'll be
long way.
something.
Funnily enough, even places like the stadium, those things around, like, they're not being cared for. If they're being cared for, things
They're
will be
not,
happening
yeah.
there. So there's so many ways that we can.
It's depressing actually when you think
I know,
about it.
I know. And this is the thing, juggling this feeling constantly in the industry. And the fact that, but the art must continue.
Yeah.
Right? You will do what you can. So it's like, even this tour, we're starting with announcing these 2 cities first while we do the background work for the other ones I mentioned. And it's like, it's hard work, but you will do it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that people are seeing what is possible with
Yeah.
what we're doing in our corner. And of course, like, one thing I'm also excited for the rest of the year is just the collabs I'm doing with a lot of these just people outside of my own like team.
Circle.
And just, it's I'm looking forward to it.
2026 will be a very beautiful year.
I'm looking
Yep.
forward.
It's just crazy that if things like this are happening in like the developed cities or the
Yeah.
developed states in Nigeria, did you see that tweet where they said people in Taraba?
What
do
do you
they
do
do
for
they
fun?
do? Yeah,
I
do they
think-
go for
I think-
raves?
I think so.
If you're in Taraba, you go for raves. Tell us.
Let's-
I'm sorry. When I saw that tweet, I felt like it was such a foolish question.
Yes,
to ask.
I know
think it was
there's
foolish. I
there's
thought
the possible-
I thought the person just
I think they were
tweeted their
asking-
thoughts
I think
out
they were
loud.
asking honestly.
Yeah.
And it
I'm
could look
sorry.
ignorant.
It's just like somebody saying, "Oh, in Nigeria, do they listen to rap music?"
No, girl.
Bro,
I think
think
it might
about
be-
someone
What
in
happens at
America.
raves?
Think about
No.
someone in America say, you remember
No, what
when
happens at
I think it was
raves in Lagos
it was when
is
what
when
person
J.
might
Cole
be.
came to
Exactly. It's what happens at raves in Lagos. See, that tweet, which is what Twitter really should be about, is
But I
your
get you.
thoughts
I get
in
where
your
you're
brain.
coming from, yeah.
Say it out
See,
loud.
this
There was
is-
nothing
this
wrong
is
with
the
that
thing
tweet.
where
There was
we-
nothing wrong
this
with
is-
that tweet.
There's everything wrong with that.
But I
tweet.
think
Because
I think
this is
there's-
the
Because
thing-
I would
there
like
could
to
be a
know.
way-
Do you
this is
guys
the
have
thing
raves
where
in
you
Taraba?
think that
So
oh,
that's a different question.
this is the
That's
thing
it.
where you
What
think
was the
that
question she asked?
so
It was
when
framed
you
differently.
when you think
That's
that
why.
the things you're
Let me see
experiencing here are just limited to here.
Yeah.
That's
No,
such a
that's not
myopic
what
way
she
to
meant.
think.
That's not
You
what
can-
she
no,
meant.
you said
That's not what she
No,
meant.
but
She
hold on,
said,
hold on.
I think about certain things like people in Taraba, do they do raves? And that's a valid question to ask. Because Taraba is in Nigeria.
that's a stupid question
it's
to ask.
not. How, do you know if they do raves in Taraba?
You assume they do raves. in
Do you
Taraba,
do you think they do raves in Taraba?
Why not? Because there are young
There's
people
no
who listen
why
to
not,
music like that.
actually. So so I'm torn because I get you in the sense that I don't like when people think that only a certain.
I
type
didn't
of
think it
people
was
can enjoy any
condescending.
kind of
It wasn't
art,
condescending. It
any
was a
kind of
genuine
this
thought.
thing.
It's a foolish question.
No, it wasn't condescending. If it was a condescending statement, I would be like, come on, you don't have to say it like that.
It was a
You're
foolish
sounding like a
question.
white man talking
So
about
imagine-
Africa. But you're just saying, because when I saw that, I was like, I sent it to a friend of mine. I was like, wait,
So when you
Do they
when
do
you
raves
see
in
when you
Taraba?
see a black American tell you, oh, do you guys listen to rap music in Nigeria, or do you guys have internet in Nigeria? What comes to your mind?
I assume they're ignorant.
Thank you.
But sometimes
not
ignorance
malicious
is
all
exactly.
the
Sometimes
time.
ignorance is
Malice
not a
is
bad
different.
thing.
Ignorance
Sometimes
is-
because
It's not a
I
bad
would
thing. It's
also
not-
like
I
to
feel like
know.
you
Do
could
you
agree
do
that
raves in
being
Taraba?
ignorant is not a
I
bad
would like
thing.
to know.
Now, if I think if it was a thing where I don't know how to put it, but
Okay.
There's a certain exposure to things that I think we expect of people. Fair. There's internet. There's many ways. I'm sure this person could have googled. Do they have raves in Taraba?
Before you come online,
they will probably get. They probably won't see.
This
Twitter
person,
is where they will probably see someone go,
or this person was just thinking about it. Maybe had lit up something and their brain went there and just tweeted it.
I do hope they get like actual like responses to what is happening.
I think so too.
Okay,
we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Okay.
But did you have fun hanging out with
And maybe
us?
when we leave here, we'll go and check if they're actually raving.
It would be nice if they rave in Taraba. It would be nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would like to attend a rave in Taraba.
Why not?
Because I don't think I would like to do anything in the north. It's scary. Security.
AK-47.
That's the point.
Sitting.
Why you're
So why are you gone? DJ, we want to party.
Who goes?
I'm dying at who goes.
Who goes?
You bring out your gun.
But see, I'd say that one thing I do hope like will happen with this new like what we have going on now is that we have 36 states in this country. That I cannot tour 20 of them easily is a problem.
It's a problem.
Right? And so I'm hoping that like just more states get their power and just do more.
Yeah. Do more, please help us. All right. And follow us on social media, please,
Yes,
Joe.
And watch out for Dwin.
Watch out for the podcast. That's a podcast, the tour.
Give us all the details.
Yes, MOB tour, that's Master of Ballads tour, starting with Abuja December 5th, Lagos January 3rd, and we'll be seeing more of you as we find more dates.
And for more information, follow him on Instagram, X. Are you on TikTok?
Doing the Stoic, yes.
And please buy
TikTok,
tickets. Don't DM him.
Buy tickets.
Don't send him a DM looking for free tickets.
Please.
Help is awesome.
We are building this.
Yes, help is awesome. I beg. And also don't forget to check him out on Apple Music, Spotify,
Audiomack, everywhere you listen.
Yeah. Everywhere you listen. All right, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.